if I could go back in the past, I would literally slap myself. I would slap myself immediately. Why? Well, because all the time I was literally just finding ways how I can make myself literally experience the most amount of pleasure in the least amount possible. Like, never be bored, pretty much. For example, I would smoke weed, and I would also eat delicious cake, and I'll also watch Netflix all in the same time. That's just one example that crosses my mind. If I would go to school, I would be on my phone on my commute to school, in the bus. I wouldn't talk to anybody, no, I would just be on my phone. In school, I would often spend a bunch of time actually on my phone, even during classes. Commute back to home again. And at home, I would play video games or be on my phone again. The whole day was like some stimulation. And I felt great in the moment. I felt amazing, but like, it was always short-lived. I would always have to find new ways to reward myself so that I'm not bored. And you could probably relate to this. But when it came time to actually stick to my goals, the goals, things that I said I will do, when it came time to exercise, to go to bed, I would just stay on my phone. I wouldn't work out. I wouldn't do the things that I said that I will do. I realized that this is actually making my life way worse. So what I did is I learned about how dopamine is controlling my life. Dopamine is something that influences what are we motivated to do. So if you have a bunch of dopamine, you're very motivated to do whatever you want to do. But if you have very little dopamine, you aren't motivated. And if you spend a bunch of time on your phone, getting a bunch of dopamine through it, and you also smoke weed, you also play video games, this is all activities that instantly give you a bunch of dopamine, bunch of pleasure. And when you get a bunch of pleasure from these activities, your baseline of dopamine, it was here, you played a bunch of video games, smoked weed, drank alcohol, scrolled on social media, whatever, it decreased. And now it's below what it was. And every time you do this, it gets lower. So without realizing it, I was like just making my life way, way harder. And I realized that I can do the opposite. If I don't do these things, it's not gonna actually go down. My baseline is not gonna go down. But also, if I do things that don't necessarily give me pleasure immediately, I will actually increase it. So if I go workout at the start, it's not necessarily fun and everything, but after I did my workout, it's like it's feel amazing. I get a bunch of dope, and I'm more motivated to do everything else. If I record these videos, for example, maybe at the start it's not like so fun, and I don't really feel like clicking the record button. But after I finish recording these videos and publishing them, I feel amazing, and I'm more motivated to do other things. So now, when you understand it, how do I do it, and how can you do the same? So now, when I wake up, I do a bunch of things. For example, when it comes to recording videos, I don't go on my phone. I don't play video games. I don't do anything that gives me pleasure like that before I work things done, before I record all the videos. And whatever I do, same thing applies. First, I do my work, what's most important, and then I can go on my phone and do everything else. Unless it's something that you need to use your PC or your phone for your work, then that's obviously different. But also, then I don't go on social media, I don't go on Reddit, I don't play video games. I'm not on social media at all. I realized, what's the benefit of this? It's social media, but like, I don't talk with anybody through social media. It's actually not social. You just scroll on TikTok, so Instagram, whatever social media platforms you use. It's actually not social. I actually don't want to use it. I don't see the benefit. I was actually just addicted before. That was the reason why. I just was always finding a way to stimulate myself, and that's a great way to do that. But when you think about it, I would way rather go out with friends or just go on a video call if we don't have time to go out that day. I would rather do that, or I would rather go visit some place. I would rather go and read a book that's really interesting to me, or watch some awesome video or podcast on YouTube. Literally, I would rather do those things instead of scrolling on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So that's one thing I do. I also, what else do I do? Yeah, also, like, my phone is optimized, so it's way easier for me to be way more mindful of it. I can't access social media, so it's hard to actually procrastinate, because even if I want to that day, for some reason, go on social media instead of do the work that I said I will do, it literally blocks it. It says, you're free from this app, whatever it is, go do great things. So this is some of the things that I do. I do more of these things, but how this impacts me, as I said, My motivation is higher than ever. The things that I usually was struggling to do are now easy, actually. It's my new normal. As I said, I would slap my younger self. It's so easy to stay consistent. I don't need discipline because I changed my environment, so it's actually easy to do the things that I said I want to do. Also, every goal that I set, I know that I actually will achieve. I never forget about it, and I'm every single day actually actively working on it. Action steps for you to change your life. If you just watch this video but don't do them, it means you'll learn nothing, and that ultimately will lead you to not changing your life and having to watch more of these types of videos in order to learn the same lessons. So come on, let's go. First action step for you is literally make your phone boring. So turn on grayscale mode. That's in your settings. That's literally something you can do immediately. You can turn on do not disturb mode. That's you can set in your settings also, so it's like only when you work or whatever you want, recurring session. So it happens every day at the same time and it ends at the same time. You might come up with, oh, what if something emergent will happen? There's emergency that will happen, then they will just call others and not you, because you will not pick up. And these emergencies almost never happen, actually, by the way. Like, what was the last time something emergent happened? So that's the second thing. Third thing, you can literally just turn off all the notifications. Fourth thing is that you can literally install minimalist phone if you're an Android. If you're an iPhone, this doesn't work. And you can install Freedom. You will be able to block every app that you don't want to do and set a recurring session for it, so you don't have to do it every single day. So these are all the things that are going to make it hard for you to procrastinate and easy for you to do the things that you want to actually do. What else you could do? Take a piece of paper and literally say, every time I'm in the bus on my commute to wherever you go, I'm gonna do these things. So for example, talk to some friend in the bus that you see, or talk to a stranger. This will literally improve your social skills. You will become more confident, and who knows how will that impact your life in a way better way. And I definitely guarantee it's gonna be way better use of your time than literally just scrolling on social media on your phone. That's one example. Second example is when you get home from work, instead of going literally not even aware of the fact that you just went on your phone immediately and spending an hour or even more on it, you want to say, when I get home from work, I'm gonna talk to my family. I'm gonna go for a quick walk. I'm gonna do something to actually relax, meditate for 10 minutes, just chill, whatever. Or I'm gonna go work out. So schedule, as I said, these activities that you're gonna do instead of being on social media, instead of scrolling on TikTok and so on. And after that, you will actually want to work out, to do these things that you actually want to do, that will ultimately lead you to accomplishing your goals, whatever they are for you. And once you actually wrote these goals down, you want to go into Google Calendar and schedule them in. Okay, when I'm on commute, I do these things. When I'm got back from work, I do these things. And whatever other ideas come to your mind. Whenever you think of another idea, just do the same thing as you did for these two examples, obviously. And you also want to put some alarms on your phone so you actually are reminded of it, so you don't forget about this advice that you literally took action right now on. And third thing is just change your identity. Write a document in which you write like, I'm somebody who is very mindful of how he uses my time. I'm somebody who is very mindful of how I use my phone, how I use technology. I'm somebody who prefers spending time with my family, socializing, exercising, instead of being on my phone. I'm somebody who hates being on my phone. These are just some examples that cross my mind that will definitely help you. The point of this last action step is to become a completely different person. That's what you want to think about, like how this new person who is way more mindful of how he uses their time and dopamine thinks, pretty much. And you can, on this document, write also your goals so that you're often reminded of them. You want to repeat this at least once, if not twice, and it takes a few minutes. It's going to skyrocket your results. For example, once in the morning and once before you go to bed will become your new paradigms, your new identity, ultimately. If you're an entrepreneur who wants to make way more money, have way better work-life balance, be way more productive, less stressed, click the link in the description of this video to get my personal help on how you can do that. And I hope I helped everybody with this video, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. See ya. Bye.